Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Christy here at my Artful Adventures, and we are going to see what kind of trouble we can get into today and just have a good old time. What have you guys been up to? So today we are in an event with that is streaming into the Crafty Bunch over on Facebook, and I'm also streaming on YouTube. So if you see me making any, or if you hear me making any comments, and you don't see what in the world's going on, it might be something that is on the other platform. But welcome in, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here today, and I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to make a, we're going to do a, we're going to repurpose an old pair of jeans, and we're going to alter a composition notebook. So I love to do those. I have done several of those, and I just think they are so much fun to do. And just, it just, I don't know. Do you have something that you have done several times that you still like to do like that? Let me know in the comments if you yourself have something fun like that. I don't know. Sometimes we just do several, you do it over, and I haven't done a ton of them, right? But still, I just love them. I think they are so much fun. And so we are going clear until this evening, you guys. And so all you have to do, if you are watching in the Crafty Bunch, all you have to do is just refresh your browser, and then the next person will come up. So that's always kind of, an easy way to see everybody and see what's going on. So I just wanted to take that second to let you know, and thank you to Michelle from My Shell Bell Creations. She is our hostess today, and it's a fair amount of work to put things together and events and take care of it and run it and get all the people in one after another. Thanks, Michelle. Hi, Amy, Linda, Jeanette. Welcome in, you guys. Do you guys have a composition book that you can repurpose? So, you know what? I'll tell you, the best time to get these things is when school supplies go on sale. And you guys, I was just thinking the other day, it's going to be that time again before we know it, isn't it? So grab yourself some of those when they are cheap. You probably won't find them any cheaper than at that time of year. And so I always try to grab a few of those. And I like the ones that actually have like the little graph paper pages. Excuse me. And I like those, but they're more expensive. They aren't the cheap ones. So I am going to go ahead and, oh wait 1 second. Let me see something else here. Okay, I think I can see everything that's going on, which is important, right? All right, let me change my view here. Okay. Look here, I got a purple one. Now that I'm looking at that, it's like, do I really want to cover that? And just before me, Joe was working on one too. How funny is that? This is going to be very different, and we're going to see how it works out, right? I mean, sometimes you dream these things up, and you just have to go with it, right? You just go with it, you make it work, and that's what we're going to do today. Hey, Sherry, glue sticks are always, yes, all kinds of stuff are really on sale at that time of year. I think I might try using a pair of pinking shears for some of this. Oh, look at that. Not only do I know where some scissors are, I found my sewing scissors, right? How funny is that, you guys? Took them out of witness protection. Okay, so here's what we've got here. This is the second pair of jeans that I drug out today. You guys, I had been saving old jeans because I saw the cutest idea. I had a room that I had kind of used, I called it my Americana room. It kind of had this red, white, and blue theme to it, just by accident. But when we first moved here, we had some bunk beds in there, and the kids, would come. They were little, so I needed it to be a gender neutral room. And so that was what I had, chosen. I found some really cute little thin quilts to put on those bunk beds to use as, kind of the bedspread thing, so to speak. And then later on, I had seen this fun idea where you took jeans and you cut the tops off, and then fastened. You had them fastened, and you would use clothespins on it at the valance to hang them, and that way they looked like they were hanging on a clothesline. And I love that idea. So anyway, I have a lot of these old jeans saved. That was what they were gonna, be used for. And every once in a while, we'll do something, and I'll think, I'm sure glad I have a pair of those. Have some jeans already ready to go, right? So hi, Sherry and Ann, and you guys. I'm so glad all of you are here. Thank you for being here. And if I don't happen to mention you, please know that I love that you're here. You're all important to me. And so I love these ribbity things on here too. But I had a pair, and it said Levi's signature. And I thought about using those, but the pocket was way bigger on those. And then I thought, are these jeans just really, really big? And so then I thought, well, I don't know. Now this pocket is going to fit on here. And so I decided I would use this pocket. But I think what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to cut the pocket off. And to cover the bottom, I've already messed around with this a little bit, you guys. I tell you, this is kind of hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to just I'm going to go from the seam over here. This is kind of hard to work here, so I think you can see. I am just going to cut it here. I'm going to use the seam where that is straight, and it looks like the grain of the fabric is pretty straight along here. And so that's going to be good for the book. It's going to lay nice. And so that's what I think I'm going to do, is just cut across through there. I'm not going to, Joe's thing, she was really spending some amount of time making sure that it all, she had nice finished edges and stuff. And me, we're just going to make this kind of a rough looking thing. How about that? I know. I think so too. The other ones that I was going to use, that they were a darker blue, and I wanted to use those. And then I thought, you know what? And the pocket was the thing that sealed the deal, that I didn't want to use it like that. I'm just going to go ahead and cut a chunk out of here to work on. And we'll go from there, because if I cut some out, it'll be so much easier. And just cut this through here. This feels so weird, you guys, just chopping up a pair of jeans, right? But hey, it's gonna work. And I'm sure I just have this horrid thought of cutting it too small, but this is gonna be plenty big. Maybe I'll just hold the book up here so I can get a better straight-ish line as I go up here, right? And I'd rather have way too much than not enough to work with. And I'm not going to do it on the inside. I'm going to use paper on the inside. Oh, me use paper? Whoever would have thought? Okay. So we're just going to chop it up. Oh, you guys, I got to reach up here and turn. Now I know one of the reasons the shirt did not fit for a long time. It was kind of tight. And I forgot I even had something that was denim, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've got something denim to wear. And then now, after being in here, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is one reason I don't really spend a lot of time wearing denim. I'm hot. I'm getting hot, guys. Okay, so we've got. Is this our piece we're using? I don't know. I get to chopping stuff out, and then it's like, wait, was that the part I was using? Oh my gosh, you guys. Wait. Boy. How could I have done that? No. Oh, well, it's going to be on the seam. Okay. Boy, I thought I made it a lot bigger from top to bottom. I barely got enough on here. Phew, well that was lucky. Okay, and now I'm gonna take off. I thought about getting a seam ripper out and taking the, one of the back pockets off, but I'm just gonna cut it out. Okay, which do you think we should use? Now I'm gonna put the pocket on the front. Do you think I should just use the plain pocket? Now this one has got a little bit of a worn spot right here. Linda says, just pretend you're making your summer shorts. Yeah, right. So I don't know. I don't know. I think I'll just use the plain pocket. Although this would be kind of cute on the front. What do you guys think? Either way, I can cut both pockets off and still, have them to use at some time or another, right? I don't have to just decide, to only use one or the other right now. Use the one with the worn spot. I kind of think that I do want to use the one with the label on it, because I think that just gives it a little bit more character for the front, right? Oh, and you know what? I've already got it cut right here. Oh, that's a perfect reason. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut it out, and I'm just gonna bend it up here a little bit and cut underneath. And eventually that'll probably get kind of frayed. And this one was already torn up here anyway. Look at that. Would you look at that? Okay. Did you know you were just gonna pocket with a patch? Yeah, I think so. Yep, Pam, I think that's the way we're gonna go. Okay. I gotta pay attention to the time. Alright. I'll just chop this off. And I'm gonna go back in here and clip this other section out once I get it off of here. I tell you, this is a lot to work with here just at, Oh, I think it really started raining all of a sudden. Yep, I can tell. I hear it. Oh, and the edge of this pocket is kind of, worn over there too. I like that. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I do want to cut this part off. I kind of think maybe I should leave that lining on to give it a little bit more weight. I'm going to seal this up. That way, we can still use it for a pocket, and since it's just going to be on the paper, I think that will be fine. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about leaving that much fabric on for the pocket. Okay, now, we've got this here. All we need to do, I'm just going to wrap this around just like this. Just like this. Look how faded and great that is. That's so cool. So cool. Okay. And then we can get some of that frayed off. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and glue this. And then when I get over here, I'm just going to wait to cut it until it's glued on. Doesn't that seem like a plan? It's a plan. We never know if it's going to be a really good plan, but it's a plan, right? Oh, Sherry. Oh, what a sweet way, to keep a memory. I love that. Now, okay, here's the other thing. I am not going to glue along the very back of the spine, because for some reason, a lot of times these books, they need a little bit of give for some reason. And that's kind of where they want to have their little give, is back here along this part right here of the spine. Now my glue is getting kind of thick. I should not have tried to put it on that whole expanse. So let's just do this. Wrap it around. Okay. There's no going back now, you guys. It's on here. You'd leave it on. Are you talking about the lining on that pocket? I think I will. And I think what I'm going to do, and while we're talking about it, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along here and seal it up. And that way it won't be prone to catch stuff, because we could actually use it as a pocket. I mean, it's really a pocket on there, right? Oh, true. Andrea says a jean pocket's great to add to the front of a tote. That's a great idea. All kinds of uses, right? That's so cool with its little bit of, I mean, it's obviously used, right? I'm gonna snip off this little snaggy part. There we go. All right. Now you can see well, let me see if I can straighten it a little so the pocket is a little bit straighter. Boy, you guys, the pocket is barely on here. It's coming clear over to the edge. Okay, I think that looks a little bit better. And how, you know, when you get to looking at things, it's really kind of funny. Things that you kind of think are straight, sometimes they're not. They are not straight. And you know, when I got ready to cut these out and stuff, I was looking at the back. And I mean, when you look at this, I mean, here's the waistband over here. And, you know, and you've got this seam going down here at this complete angle. And the pocket is, you know, at a line in line with this. It's not straight across the top. And it's like, and even at that, it's not even equal distances right here. It kind of looks at it like it maybe from where you're watching, but it's not. I mean, it's kind of cattywampus right there too. So, you know, and these are just fun things. Nobody's going to, you know, be upset that we didn't do it this way or that way. I mean, they're just a fun little thing to have. And have you ever, if you've ever done any of these journals like this, you'll know that it's just fun to grab something to have to take some notes, or, you know, keep something, a special kind of notes or whatever in, and not just be that plain old composition book, right? Okay, alrighty. So now I'm just gonna glue this back part. Same thing. My glue is getting low here. I do have another one on the ready. Thank goodness, huh? So we'll just smear it along here. Okay. I'll just get it on here. Get it done, right? Okay. And then I'm just gonna pull this over. Look, this is the best way to iron your fabric. You just glue and pull. Glue and pull, glue and pull. Okay, now I'm gonna get something and kind of smash that down better. And I didn't even do this to the front, you guys. I should have. And that's, I don't know, it might have a minute to, it just helps spread that glue out a little bit. And press it down. You guys, that feels so good. I never would have even thought about that, but it feels nice. Who'd have thunk it, right? Okay, I don't think I finished this, did I? Where's my assistants? I need my assistants to keep me on track, you guys. Alrighty. Okay. You guys, we got another fun event tomorrow, too. In the Crafty Bunch. Evidence of creativity. It's going to be fun. Okay. I bet you out there, I bet some of you watching like to watch some of those shows like CSI, but our CSI is craft scene investigations. Okay, now at this point it doesn't really matter. We're going to cover this up too, but let's go ahead and trim off. You know, I don't know. I don't know how close I really, this part I don't have a lot of choice. There's not a lot of room right there, but I don't really know how much to kind of trim off so that we can still kind of work on getting a little fray. Some we'll trim some off and leave the rest. That has about 1/4 of an inch up there. I'll just kind of trim this over here about the same. Or maybe I might not. That's kind of difficult. Okay, this will work. I can see where it is up here. Just snip it, snip it, snip it. Okay. Alrighty. Now, oh, that's glue. I don't want to run my scissors through that. There we go. Okay. And we don't need a ton. I mean, just a little bit. And you know, it would fray over time anyway. If you're not going to, you know, fold it over and it's just got a raw edge. I don't know. What do you guys think? How much do you think I should leave on there? Well, what do you think? And I might go back and do it a little bit closer. But yeah, and we don't have a lot of time to just spend all of our time fraying it today, right? Okay. Look, I bet you guys didn't know I could be that quiet, did you? Okay. That chatty Cathy doll doesn't have anything on me. Although I always wanted a chatty Cathy doll. Okay. All right. Whew. I don't know. That might be a little bit much. And it's not even, and I don't care. It's going to be fine. It's going to work out. And look, and I like how the back, we've got that seam on the back. And if you wanted to start doing, you know, like some of your fraying, all you got to do is just, you know, start grabbing some of that and going. And that's going to come out really easy. Because, you know, by nature, denim is a pretty loose weave. And if you're having trouble, you know, grabbing some of that, take a pin or something and just kind of stick it down and start pulling. Of course, I've got a pin that's got glue junk on it. Oh, I like this. Look at that. Look how cool that's gonna look. See? Look at that. Look how great that's gonna be. What time is it? Well, this is working good, you guys. Just kind of, you just keep picking them out and pulling at them. Sometimes you can grab more than one. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Now, the only thing I don't know how it's going to work is when it gets around here to the, I might, as we go around, have to just cut those when they get to that back seam, because I doubt they're going to go across that very well. And jeans have those flat felled seams, so they're gonna, you know, they don't even have any raw edges at the seams. So, I don't want to, going this way is a little bit more difficult. And so as you know, as we pull these out, then it's not going to really matter too much. You know, just the nature of fraying. It's not going to matter a lot if it's super straight and even, right? Those are harder to get out going that direction. And then I'm just going to, when I get back to the back, then I'll just snip them. But now that's funny because going this way, I'm gonna pick these up in a second and show you this. This is kind of interesting. You know, I think the weirdest stuff is interesting. Okay. I'm trying to get this one little part that is down lower. It's not looking so great. It's harder to get it out of there. Okay. This is so funny. I'd have never known this. Okay, look at this. On the top, the fray looks blue, and down the side, the fray has got this white look. And as we pull them out on the top, I've got these white threads that have gone that way, and this way, they're like this other blue color that's coming out the other direction. How cool is that? Who knew? Who knew? Okay, let's go ahead. We got that dry. We can glue our pocket on. And we'll just glue it around the edge because we want to leave it for being a pocket. All right. So, just around the edge. Man, I'm having to use both hands, you guys, to squeeze my glue out. But at least I had some. And another bottle at the ready. Always have extra glue. In fact, you know, every time I buy this stuff, I'll buy 2 bottles. And my husband, he was with me last time, and he goes, why don't you just get the bigger bottle? It looks like it's cheaper. I go, yeah, they try to make you feel like that, but I said, it gets thick. And I said, you know, I don't like it. When it gets thick, it's hard to use, right? Okay, so now we've got our pocket on here. We're going to let that dry. And I mean, it's actually a pocket. Isn't that fun? So much fun. I know, Linda, now I've got some thread puddles, right? Linda says their house was noisy enough without talking dolls. Well, my house was not loud. I was 11 years old before my brother was born, so no, we did not have that problem at my house. See, I would have liked somebody to talk to, right? Somebody to talk to me. Okay, you guys. Now, I loved Michelle's graphic color that she used with blue and yellow. I thought that was so pretty. And so I'm going to use yellow in here on these pages to cover these up. And so we need to turn the ruler the right way so we can read it. So this, and you don't want it to go all the way to the spine, because if you put it all the way to the spine, you can't really open it very well. It gets kind of stuck. So I mean, it is a little bit, I'm going to say it's about 7 3/8. That's going to leave a little hint of white showing, but it won't mess up being able to open and close the book, right? So 7 3/8. Get this out here. Oh, this is weird. Oh, that's because it was off of a paper pad. I'm like, why is that so odd? You know what? I'm going to turn it the other way so I have a nice, clean, flat edge. You can always get a better cut if you've got, you know, a nice flat edge to cut from. So I'm going to do both of these this way, and then we'll measure the other way. Look at me being smart. I can remember one measurement. How about that? One measurement I can do. 7, sometimes. Don't quote me on that. Oh, yeah, Susan. Oh, there were 7 in your house, Linda? Oh, my goodness. Hey, my other friend, my other Christy friend. How are you doing? Okay. Where's the ruler again? Now we got to see how tall to make it. We want this one. I'm going to make it 9 3/4. So just bump it up there and slice it off. And you probably, you probably always want to measure these because sometimes these things can be like a little fraction of an inch, even though they're manufactured to be the same. You never know, right? You just never know. Okay, I'm going to take I'm going to grab this so we can get kind of a quick stick and some liquid glue, both. Actually, I'm going to use this and some Fabri-Tac because the Fabri-Tac will give it a little bit more time to wiggle around. And, I think the name of the Fabri-Tac glue is kind of deceiving. If you look at chart, so Fabri-Tac is made from the company called Beacon, and if you look at their website, you can find a chart that shows their different kinds of glues and what they're good for. And I tell you what, this Fabri-Tac is good for so much stuff. It is just incredible. I mean, it really is a great glue, except, it's just, sometimes it's not the easiest to use, right? But the one thing about it is the fact that, the open time, the time that you can use it and, kind of wiggle it around a little bit is so helpful. We'll just do this and then we'll smash our paper down real good. Okay. So we got that one. And I'm just going to try to line it up on my top and bottom and sides. Okay, see, I got a little bit of white right there, but the paper is white here, so that's not really that big of a deal, right? Not too bad at all. I'm going to use my ruler and give it a good press. Oh, I don't get dirty on there. Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe my hands aren't so dirty. I can really feel the front, that pocket is really raising this up. Oh, I got a great stick there, you guys. Okay, next one. Let's do the back. We're going to cover the back too. We'll do it. Oh, you're doing great on time. Sometimes I feel like I'm the worst at time planning for projects. Well, when you sit at your desk and you just, you can do your projects and you don't have to have a timed amount of time. It's a big difference than when you've got to fill a certain amount of time, right? Guys, I don't know about how much farther I can squeeze my glue out. I don't know. I tell you though, 2 hands makes a world of difference when it gets down this low. I used to not use Fabri-Tac enough that, it would get thick fast and not really able to use it that much. Okay, now this one, I think if I try to line the side and like either the top or bottom right off, that gives me the best chance of getting it on pretty straight. That's pretty good. I'm thrilled with that. And then I can go back and round the corners a little bit. And that had a little bit of glue squeeze out there. And I'm not going to wipe it off with my fingers because that'll be a mess. There. Okay. Now I want to make a couple of pockets to go in here too. And so for the pockets, I'm going to do just like kind of a tuck spot on here. And look at this. How fun is this? I wanted to use this on the front or as the lining inside, and you know, that didn't really, only had one paper. I'm like, well, that's not any fun. And then I thought, well, I'm going to make a center folder, and this was the other side, and I'm like, well, if I fold it up, I don't like that together, and I don't like that with my denim theme. So I was kind of irritated about that. Okay, so let's see. Yes, I did find my bone folder, Susan. Yeah, I don't know. I sent out the search team and they found it this morning. Okay, I think I'm going to just do a pocket about, oh, well, I don't know. What should we do? Should we do like a little, yeah, I'm going to do a side tuck pocket because then I can use 6 inches for both sides. Otherwise, I don't have enough on here, and that's why I didn't use it to make the liners, because I don't have enough that wide. So we'll just do that, and then we will make it, I think if it's going to be a tuck, a side tuck, I'll make it 6 inches. I think that'll work good. Oh, and there's 6 inches right there, except not really. So we'll do 6 inches here, and then I'm just going to do 6 inches this way too. You know, sometimes you find something and you're talking about doing it 6 inches by 6 inches, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, well, you know, something like that, that could have been a great use for a, oh, here, we still need this. A great use if you had some 6 by 6 pads, right? So I think on here, I'm going to, let's see, how should I do this so they match? You know what? I'm just going to cut it off like this, and then I'll turn it over to match this side. That's the easiest way I can think of to make a match, is just like that. And that will be close enough. Close enough. I gotta hold it down there. Okay. Oh, now if I'd have thought about it, I'd have just put them both together in the first place. Well, that's what I'm going to do now. Let's do that with these. We'll get these corners exactly the same. I'm just going to trim off a little bit. I just like it rounded a tiny bit. It just, to me, it just makes so much of a difference. I mean, you just don't even have to trim that much. Sometimes it's about enough that you can't even really find the scraps you just cut off, right? Now I'm just going to go back to my little reptile glue and put that on just on 2 sides. Oh, you know what? We can cut off this. Oh, I got a good idea. I got a good idea. Maybe I have an idea. They could always be debatable if they're good ideas, right? Let's take this zip strip off of here and use it. Why not, right? Why not? And we already know it was 6 inches, so we'll just cut it at 6 inches. Now we can put it however we want. Oh, I kind of like that. You know, if I put it up a tiny bit, it actually could kind of be a little bit of a belly band. I'm going to do that. Because I got scissors trying to escape. So I'm just going to put a little there. That glue, I just refilled my glue, and it is really wet. That's gonna ooze out everywhere. All right, so I'm just gonna put it up a little ways. I don't know why I'm doing it all the way across. It's only got glue on the ends. I know. Susan, I love this piece of paper. It's probably one of the reasons I had saved it. I love this. I love polka dots in general. How many of you like polka dots? How many of you are my polka dot friends? And then when it's a color you like, that's even better, right? I keep finding papers. I have yet to really organize all the papers that I have left from all these years of scrapbooking, loose papers. And I'm always thinking I'm going to use that system that her name is Tiffany, and she had a business called Totally Tiffany, and those items, her organization items, were purchased from Crafter's Companion. And then when they filed their equivalent of bankruptcy, then the gal who had started that company came back in and bought it back and took back over. And because of how that had happened, Tiffany was able to get her stuff back. But I think there were some things about the whole deal where she couldn't sell them, I don't think, under that name anymore. And so she has launched a whole new thing, and I think it's called something like Organized 2, like organized with, TOO or something. And it might still have it seems like there's something else about that. But she has the best ideas for organizing crafty supplies. Well, not just crafty supplies, just doing a lot of basic organizing of things. And so she is back at it again. And I saw she had something the other day about organizing at home. And I thought, well, there's something I should watch, right? Okay, now we're going to take this paper, and it's similar, right? And we're going to just fold it up like this. We're going to make a little folder, and we're going to put this one in the middle. So I'm just going, and this is nice, you guys. This has a different feel. It's not just flat. I don't know. Maybe I don't want the pocket that high. And maybe I do. I don't know. I'm going to do it right here. There we go. Okay, that's how high the pocket is. Once you press it in place, there you go. Oh, Pam says she likes polka dots and stripes. Yep, me too. I do too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and score this, you guys. We're going to score it in half, so our 6 inches. This thing hits like right at that 6 inches, and I'm not sure that it stays the straightest. Okay, so I'm going to go right down the middle and score it. What the heck? That didn't do anything. I've decided that this thing needs to be flat to score well. And usually I have a flat surface, but my goodness, when I get to trying to do all that stuff on top of everything, then it's not so flat anymore. There we go. There we go. You guys you've probably seen this deal so many times, more times than you care to count, right? And so now what you're going to do is you're going to fold it this way. You guys, I am dangerously close to using my fabric scissors for paper. I think the scissor patrol would come and give me a ticket. Okay. So, just a little bit. Just snip out a little bit here. Just a little V shape down to your fold line. Good grief, that paper is heavy. My goodness. Like really heavy. There. Okay. Now, when we do this and fold it, it won't be so thick. And again, I'm just going to give a little gentle bit of a curve on both of these. Susan, do you remember those? You guys, I had a whole bunch of those bags. I used quite a bit of them. In fact, one of the things that I keep here on close to me is this thing that I keep all of these like little like flat back enamel things and sparkly things and all of that. They'll go into hiding again. You're right, Linda. They might go into hiding. Okay, so let's glue this. Just this little edge here down to the score line. And then this one too. And we still got to get our sparkly things on. So I know that Michelle was saying, you know, who is going to use denim? Who's going to use diamonds? Who's going to use both? I don't know. It's fun to figure out, isn't it? We got to get on that crafty case. Figure that one out. Okay, so now we are just going. Now, I wish I'd have paid attention. This is a little bit sticking out here, but you know what? By the time you put stuff in and it's being used, nobody's going to care or notice. Now, I'm just going to put this right here, and the way I'm going to do this is I am just going to put the glue right in the seam and just hold it in there, and it'll catch, and that's the only way that I am going to do that. And I've done it before and it works just fine. So we're just going to put it in here, and I am going to keep it closed though as I do that, and then just kind of hold it in there. And that's the one nice thing about this glue is, I mean, it'll catch pretty quick. Why choose, right? Exactly, Michelle. Why choose? Let's use both. Except I got to get my sparkly stuff going here in a second. Got to get it going. There's Nicole Pro Sparkle Junkie. We can imagine she'd probably get some sparkle going. She's all about the bling. All about the bling. Okay. And I don't want to close the book until this is pretty you know, pretty much dry, because if I do, then it's going to catch on both sides. And well, I guess, you know, you'd still have these pages and still, you know, even if they're, you couldn't see it, it wouldn't be pretty. If those pages are stuck to it, then it's not so pretty. Hey Capri, happy Friday. Yes, I know you will, Nicole. Nicole will use the sparkle. I'm going to use some sparkle too, right? Oh, you guys, you can't really see right now, but when I pulled out this shirt, I'm like, oh, do I have denim and diamonds already? But they were sequins. They weren't little diamondy rhinestone things. They were like little sequins. So, still, it counts for bling, right? It still is blingy. What a fun theme, though, Michelle. This is a fun theme today. Okay, I'm just trying to let this kind of dry for a second. You know what I should have done? If I was thinking about it, I would have had a couple of pieces of parchment paper I could have stuck in there real quick, and I don't. I usually have a little bit that I can do that. Oh well. Oh well. Sequins are diamond-like. Yes. Yes, Capri, I agree. Diamond-esque. I think that's probably enough. I think that will be okay. And I'm just kind of looking around here to see if maybe I do have a piece of that. I could put, I don't know. I think we're good. Look at this though. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we got to decide about some sparklies. All right. I was in an event one time that was, our sponsor was Totally Dazzled, and she sent everybody this bag of stuff that was so incredibly generous. And at first I thought, well, I don't really like this goldish tone on these, but you know what? Since the label is brown and with these rivets that color, it really doesn't look bad. But you know, then there's having to pick something, right? Oh, now there's one for you. Right over the Wrangler. You guys, I kind of like that. But I also had some other, I thought it might be fun to add some of these too, but maybe not. I don't know. Oh, now that would be kind of fun to put them in between here. I don't know. I love Michelle. Michelle said more is more. Capri, I know. I love decorating them too. They're so fun. Okay, I think I am. I think I'm going to put a little line of them right there. Why not, right? Why not? Let's do it. Okay. Just pull those babies off of there. And, you know, that's one nice thing about these things like this that are basically on a string of them. Now, I am not going to trust that those, oh my goodness, those are sticky. Oh, goodness. Okay. I am going to take, oh, I wish I wouldn't have taken, okay, those got to go back on there. Oh, I did not think they would be that sticky. And I was getting ready to put some glue on. Okay, I still am going to put the glue because I don't trust that kind of stuff. But just a tiny, tiny bit. Just a little bit. My granddaughter is waiting. We have a coffee place that I think twice a week they offer like half price coffee, and she's always wanting to go over there. And I don't mind doing half price. I get something yummy. So she was wanting to go, and I said, "But this isn't their day." And she goes, "Well, did I get it yesterday and I didn't notice?" I said, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "I didn't even look." And so I told her, I said, "I can't go yet." I go, I gotta do my live and make something with jeans I'm cutting up. And she just looked at me like I'd practically lost my mind. No, her first word was when she saw how many jeans I had. She's like, "Why do you have all those?" I don't know. What do you think? Do we like it there? You know what would be fun, you guys? What if we did our W with them? I like that. I'm going to do that. I'm doing the W. I'm going to do it. That'll be fun. Fun, fun, fun. Oh, I know. Yeah, Susan was asking me. Nope, wrong glue. Susan was asking if we something about, you know, the storm. I said, "Oh my gosh, I just live with my head in the, I don't know where, and I guess my head's in the craft room, right?" And I didn't even know that storm was down there in the Gulf. But we got plenty of humidity that I am going to say was from that. I mean, oh man, it was terrible. Okay. I know I snipped them already. Didn't I? Yeah. Was this it? This section here? I think so. Hope so. Hope that's it. You have your Wranglers on. I think so. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to do it in the W, Michelle. Okay. Well, that'd be cool if this one was the right fit. Well, no, but it'll work. That one will work. Okay. Yes, absolutely. You absolutely need to do it, Michelle. Oh, I'm almost gonna be right on time, you guys. Oh, you guys, Michelle, who is up next? I get live brain and then I completely don't remember. And then I feel so embarrassed. It's like, can you not just remember the person next? Okay. This I'm going to kind of go out of the line so I can get that one up there. I should have cut one more right there. They're so sticky. Sticky. So even though they're sticky, I like to put just a little bit more on to make sure they're going to stay. And this one needs to be snipped right here. You guys, I hope you've enjoyed this idea. How fun. Look, I'm going to get right here and be almost. Yeah, this wasn't my day to keep track. Oh man, Linda, that's true, right? Except I should though. Oh, you guys. Is this not cute? For the sparkly Wrangler in all of us. How's that? I can hardly wait to finish fraying the edges. I think that's going to look cute when the edges are done fraying. Okay, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. This has been a lot of fun. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Thanks for being our hostess today. Thank you for being the hostess with the mostest today. A great cow. It is really, right, Capri? Yep. Yes, it sure is. It's a great cowgirl look. This is going to be fun. I can hardly wait to finish these. I just can't believe this deal that I have found out about how, well, in weaving, one way is they call it the warp, and the other way is the weft. The warp. Isn't that right? Who knows? Somebody on here must know. Hey, Sherry. Sherry's watching over on YouTube. Thanks for being with us. Oh, there's Simone. Hey there. Thanks, you guys. This has been fun. I've had a lot of fun with this today. Lots of fun. I'm just gonna keep, fraying and enjoying the fun and seeing what else everybody's gonna make. Oh my gosh! And Oh, Anne is always making such cute little, vintagey things. Hers was great. And Celeste, oh my goodness, those tiny little jeans that she used and made a pocket inside her journal. Oh my gosh, were those not adorable? The little kids jeans, I mean, if you can find any like that, they make the cutest little things. She's right. She said something about how much she likes doing that, and that is so true. They do make the cutest little things like that. They really do. Let me see here. I am going to my last little bit here. I can't go without telling you who is going to be next. Oh, it's going to be Nicole. She's going to sparkle right on into your room right there and be our next person. You know she's going to sparkle it. We know Nicole. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. And I certainly appreciate you being here. And remember, tomorrow we've got another event. We have really been busy, and we just enjoy you all popping in and sharing some time with us, some crafty time. You guys, see you later. Bye-bye.